and welcome to the video about defining your first agent. My name is Nikola Kukrika and I'm a principal software engineer in Microsoft. In this video, I'm going to show to you how you can define your first agent in Business Central in sandboxes without using any code. Within the Business Central environment, there is the A+ icon that you can use that will give you a quick access to create your first agent. When you invoke it, we will show you a guided wizard, and we are going to select this option to create the agent from scratch. Here, we need to provide the name. For this demo, we will be creating the sales return agent. And you can see that automatically the display name and initials are filled out. We do not need to fill out the description because the description is used only on this page, not for the actual agent runs. On the next screen, I need to select a profile. We recommend that you use a dedicated profile for your agent, which has been reduced only to the tasks that the agent is able to do. However, for prototyping or for this demo, we can also use the full profile, and I'm going to select the accounts receivable administrator. For permissions, I'm going to give it a super permission set, which is good for prototyping or for playing around. We recommend that you limit the permission set when you're ready to release your agent. Also keep in mind that even though the agent has a super permission set, it is not going to have more permissions than the user giving it tasks. So agent's permissions will always be limited to the permission set of the user that is interacting with the agent. On the next step, we are going to provide the instructions. I have prepared the instructions in advance. I'm going to quickly paste them in here, and the scenario is that the agent is able to help with returns and create credit memos. So now I'm able to select OK and go to the Edit Instructions page. The product is going to tell me that now we are going to save and update the agent and close the setup page, so I will say yes. And it is quickly going to take me to the UI where I can give the tasks to the agents and also edit the instructions at the same time. To give the task to the agent, I will select Run Task action. And here I'm going to mock an email from a customer. So I will say that the title is that they are returning the items. Here we will fill the From field. And I'm going to also paste in the text about the actual customer complaint. We can also attach the files to the message that we are sending to the agent. Agents are able to read the PDF files and extract text from the images, which you will see in the demo. So here I'm going to upload an invoice. And I'm also going to upload the second file, which is containing the items that have the damage. And this image has text that will be extracted. So now if I invoke OK, the agent task is starting. I can see that the task pane has been opened on the right, and I can also scroll down and track the task execution as it is going by using this task log part here. You can maximize this part to get even more space, so it is more convenient to track the task. We can see that the task has started executing, and we can see all of the steps that the agent is doing within the Business Central. You can see the description of the task that the agent did. Also, you can see the reason why it did it. So this will help you to troubleshoot the agentic task much faster. There is also an additional information that you can do by selecting View Details. And if you do this for a specific row, we will show you all of the information that the agent had available. For example, what the data was on the page and the information that the agent has memorized, for example. If we keep on tracking the task to see how well it's doing, we can see that it filled the work description and that it invoked the action posting test report. It printed a report as well. And now it has drafted a reply and requested outgoing message review. Refreshing the UI, I can see what the user is going to see. So there is an incoming message. It has created the credit memo. If I click it here, it will take me straight to the credit memo. And within the credit memo, you can see with the little eye icons and justification why this one was done, an indication that this field was actually filled by an agent. And it's the same on the lines. You can exactly see which fields were set by the agents together with the justification why. If we go back and we see what is the message that it created, it has summarized the things that it has done, and it has also attached a PDF invoice here. Now, if we would like to improve these instructions, let's say that we would like to ask the agent to, before creating the credit memo, to check if the invoice exists. I can simply update the instructions like this. And now I'm able to say repeat the task, and a new task will be kicked off with exactly the same information as the previous task, with the same title and from and the attachments. And now in the same UI, I'm able to see how this task is going to run. Now we are going to wait for the task to complete by either using F5 or refresh action. Now agent is executing tasks. We can see that it has picked up the new instructions. It is searching if the invoice exists because it has read the PDF and it knows the invoicing number. And now it is going to ask me for the assistance because it is unable to find this invoice in the system, which is actually true. We do not have this invoice in the system. In the review pane, I can review it myself, and I can give instructions to the agent, for example, continue, even though the invoice does not exist. And now the agent is going to be unblocked and continue with creating the credit memo. On the same UI, you also have a quick insight to how many Copilot credits you have consumed. The information is shown at the bottom, and you can quickly see how many credits a specific task is using. And for the last thing I would like to show to you in this video is that the fact that we are saving all of the instructions that you are editing. So if you go to Instructions, View Instruction History, you will see that we have saved the two versions that I have edited. The first version is without checking for the credit memo, and the second one is the latest instruction. If you want, you can select both of them and quickly download them to the disk if you want to keep the backup of your instructions. That was all for this demo. Thank you very much for your attention.